Hello, real ones. Happy Tuesday. I hope everybody's having a fabulous Tuesday. I hope it's a terrific Tuesday. I was just taking a break from writing and working on a book, and this thought crossed my mind about my observations and even my experiences in dating, that you're either gonna be the heartbreaker or the heartbreakee. Hey, little John. Hi, John. Hi, Kelsey. Hello, everyone, as you're coming on this crazy. If you're in Atlanta, Georgia, or anywhere along the East Coast, you're getting slammed by this freaking remnants of this storm. Yes, our prayers are going out to Haiti. Our prayers are going out to Afghanistan. Our prayers are going out around the world for all of just the heartbreaking situations that are happening in the world today. So my prayers are with everyone who have loved ones in these areas, loved ones in the East, loved ones in Haiti. My prayers are with you. Yeah, nasty weather in Atlanta. Very, very rainy, tornado-y. Is that a word? Tornado-y weather in Atlanta. So we are adjusting. It's great writing weather, by the way. I've been writing today. Guys, if I start sneezing, something been on with the weather, and I've been sneezing a lot. But anyway, coming on really quickly. It is my observation in dating. So I'm going to give my backstory for my theory on this. Okay, I'm going to give my backstory. I believe that in dating, one of the hardest aspects of dating is that the people you like don't like you, and the people who like you, you don't like them. So it's this dance, right? Until you meet this very special person that's going to be right for you, and it's mutual and it's equally mutual, right? You're doing this dance when it comes to dating. And I really believe that out here in the dating pool, in the dating world, you're going to have a lot of heartbreakers and you have a lot of heartbreakees. And my question for you today is, which one are you? Are you a heartbreaker or are you a heartbreakee? Because it's inevitable until you meet this very special person, a long-term person, that there's going to be people that you are more into and you end up being the heartbreakee, or there's people that are more into you and you end up being the heartbreaker. And I think that for some of you, you are trying to probably minimize the liability when it comes to all of this. However, it's inevitable that this is who you're going to be on one side or the other until you meet a very special someone. Jade says, I've been both, right? I've been both. I'm here to be really honest. I'm going to be really honest about my single and dating experiences. And I'm going to admit to you guys that I was predominantly a heartbreaker. I hate to say it, but I was predominantly a heartbreaker when I was dating, when I was single. Why was I predominantly a heartbreaker? Because the people who are a little bit more, so there's some characteristics of heartbreakers, and there's good and bad, right? You can be a heartbreaker simply by knowing yourself very well, by being very self-aware. You can be a heartbreaker, right? When you are aware of what is a fit for you. Jasmine says, I've always been the heartbreaker, right? Tanya says, me too, the heartbreaker, right? Like, there's people who are unintentionally the heartbreakers. How can you unintentionally be a heartbreaker? You can unintentionally be a heartbreaker like me because you can be someone who's very in tune with who you are and what you want. You can be but yet you can be a very humble and loving person. And so guess what? You can find yourself liking people or enjoying their company or getting to know them because you're giving them a chance, because you're getting to know them. But then you turn around and you discover, pretty quickly or a little bit further down the road that they're not a fit for you. And so you're very quickly kind of rewinding that tape, backing out because you're recognizing they're not a fit for you. Are there intentional heartbreakers? Yes, we know there are intentional heartbreakers. We know there are people who will lead you on and mislead and lead you down a path, and you're thinking that everything's going, wonderful, and have no idea. But Yeah. There's a lot of, intentional heartbreakers, but there's a lot of unintentional heartbreakers too, right? Nadine says unintentional heartbreaker here, but when I got my heart broken, it was hard. Yeah, when you do get your heart broken, it's all of a sudden like, whoa, this sucks. Now, I will admit to this. The reason that I was more of a heartbreaker than a heartbreakee is because I was someone who, I don't like a lot of people. Opulently Black says, I'm going through heartbreak right now. Opulently Black, our prayers are with you, love. We are praying for you on the mend as your heart mends and heals, sweetheart, through heartbreak, okay? I'll say this. Guys, I don't like a lot of people. Like in general. I mean, I'm cool. I can like you, right? But spending a lot of time with someone, enjoying someone's company, like because I'm an empath, so there's lots of aspects to this, right? Because I'm an empath, because I'm an analytical thinker, because I'm a critical thinker, because I tend to analyze the hell out of everything, because I'm picking up on vibe, energy, spirit, because I'm picking up on pain, right? What does that mean? What does that mean? What at the end result, what does that mean? It means I'm very particular about who I hang around or who I like, because your energy can throw me off, right? I can have a vibe, unless you are like high vibe, high energy, a very happy-go-lucky person that where I just, because who I absolutely love is funny people. I'm a Taurus, John. I'm a Taurus. I love funny, lighthearted, fun-loving people. Why? Because that energy is contagious for me, because I'm picking up what you're putting down, and I absolutely love it. Well, there's not a whole lot of like happy-go-lucky, fun-loving people running around in the dating pool, especially at certain ages, because people are so stressed and overwhelmed and unhappy and hurting and blah, 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 right? So, for me, I just don't like a lot of people like that, which is especially lends itself to my profession, right? How I became a professional life coach. I had to put boundaries around this. Like people who are hurting, struggling, low vibe, you are paying to get access to me. You're paying for me to help you. So I was able to make some really great boundaries around these people in my life, right? Because my clients are the low vibe, struggling, stuck people. It's not my inner circle. It's not someone I'm going to share personal time with, right? So I was able to put some really strong boundaries in place because of my professional career. So you end up becoming a heartbreaker unintentionally if you are selective. Now, if you are someone who's out here looking for love in all the wrong places, you're just looking for acceptance, you're looking for validation, you just want love, you're hopeless, romantic, you tend to be the heartbreakee. Everyone says I should do a skincare routine video. My daughter is getting ready to teach me how to create edited videos, guys. She has a YouTube channel. She's getting ready to teach me how to do videos. So stay tuned. Hold on. I'm going to start creating videos for skincare and food and recipes and all kinds of stuff, but I got to learn how to do that stuff. So yeah, so heartbreakees, you guys tend to be the people who are very soft-hearted, kind-hearted, easygoing, really tolerant, so compassionate, so understanding. They're the people who end up being heartbreakees. If you tend to be a heartbreakee, who can raise their hand and say, just be honest, right? I tend to be a heartbreakee, Rebecca. I find myself kind of always getting hurt by people. I'm always, getting myself in situations where it seems like I'm more into someone than they're into me. I fall pretty hard, like I move too fast. I miss the signs. Like if you are a heartbreaky, right? This is what you do. You tend to be very accepting. You tend to not be discerning. You tend to not vet. There's a whole profile to people who tend to be heartbreakees. And can I say something? I would much rather in the dating world be a heartbreaker than a heartbreakee. I'm going to let that settle in for 1 second. I would much rather be a heartbreaker than a heartbreakee. And if you are someone who tends to have heartbreakee tendencies, right? Jazzy Jeff says, I'm a heartbreakee, still not over this woman, and I'm mad at myself, right? Guys, can I tell you, if you tend to be a heartbreakee and you have found yourself being the heartbreakee over and over and over and over again, right? Listen, can I tell you honestly what it's connected to? I'm talking to the heartbreakees now. Talking to the people who find themselves being heartbreakees over and over and over again. It's linked to lack of boundaries. It's linked to low self-esteem. It's linked to like a pick me. It's also linked to your picker. It's linked to your picker. You pick the wrong people. You are attracted to the wrong people. You are looking and you like the wrong people. You're too easygoing. You're too nice. There's a part of you deep down inside that doesn't feel good about you, like consistently. It's a self-worth issue. People pleasers, Enuma. Yes, people pleasers, right? Why? Because you're always looking to be loved, but yet you don't stop and focus on loving yourself. You don't make you a priority, therefore others do not make you a priority. Miss Angela Dawn says, I've always said my picker is broke, always has been. Listen, so at the end of the day, when you are a lot of the time picking the wrong people, do you guys know that that comes out of a place of ego? Do you know it comes that out of a place of you're looking for validation, you want to be seen as a strong person, or you want to be admired for who you are, or and trying to be with a certain type of person makes you feel like you're accomplished, you're high worth, or you know, in other words, you're looking for your validation and looking for your worth in other people, right? And so what that does is set you up. You go into situations, right? You go into situations, look already at an imbalance because you're looking at them like, pick me, love me, validate me. Don't you see how great I am? Don't you see my worth? And I'm writing about it in my Nice for What book, that guess how that comes off. Guess when you go into relationships, friendships, or anything, and you don't know who you are, you don't know, you're not sure of yourself, you're not certain of yourself, you don't have strong identity. Guess what that does? It comes off as desperate. It comes off as needy. And you're especially vulnerable to predators. What's a predator? A predator is somebody who's looking to use, right? A predator is someone who is looking to try to manipulate, lie. You're prey to a predator because they see all that desperation and neediness. So you'll keep attracting people who don't value you, people who are users. Why? Because you're easy. I would say yes, that submissive people do belong to Heartbreakee. Poe. Right? And so I would much rather you be out here on the open market dating. I would much rather you be a heartbreaker than a heartbreakee. I would much rather you be in a position of knowing yourself and being patient, waiting on the right person, than to be in a situation where you're just accepting anything that comes your way, or you're being so particular about feeding your ego that you're missing out on really wonderful potential people that would really truly love you, because it goes hand in hand with being a heartbreakee. Hand in hand with either not liking who likes you or being too accepting when people do come your way. So I would much rather you be a heartbreaker where you're being discerning, right? John says, I think I might be too picky now. Well, depends on what you're picky about. How does the right person look alike? I'm not sure what your question means, honey. Can you rephrase it? Sasha says, how do you be patient? How long can you be patient for? I've been doing this for 4 years. It's tiring. I mean, really, it's up to you. I mean, I would take breaks when I was dating. I had lots of goals and businesses, and, I'd already been married and I had children. So I was really like not making love and dating a high priority. And that made me very desirable and attractive to people, because I wasn't needy. I'm the opposite of needy. I'm the opposite of desperate, right? I'd already been married young, guys. So I recognize the pitfalls of marriage. I recognize how difficult relationships in marriage are. So I was very patient, because I'm like, this is not a walk in the park, and you have to definitely be with the right person to make this work. So you have to be very patient in that process, because you don't want to end up with the wrong person, right? So when it comes to being a heartbreaker or a heartbreakee, guys, I'll double down on it again and again. I would much rather you be the people who are in the position to be selective and to be very slow about giving your affection. When somebody said, how do you guard your heart when you've been a heartbreakee? How do you guard your heart? Slow down. Slow down. Stop jumping in so fast just because somebody jumps up looking good, smelling good, saying all the right things. Because have you ever noticed to really use your discernment, to really be able to stay in alignment with Holy Spirit, to judge a situation by the Spirit, you have to be very slow, and it has to be quiet, right? It has to be quiet. Because you have to be able to hear. You have to be able to listen. You ever notice how when you're moving really fast, you get out of sync with God? You get anxious, you're stressed. Because why? You're moving too fast. It's the same with relationships. It's the same with dating, guys. You got to slow down. I can say, Po Ball says, I can say that heartbreaky people are the ones who've experienced unhealthy childhood or unhealed. I can say, I would say yes. And I would also say that to a certain extent, but you've got a lot of intentional heartbreakers who have been definitely very hurt, not the unintentional heartbreakers. You got people like me who were the unintentional heartbreakers because we're very good-hearted. We're big-hearted people, right? We're unintentional heartbreakers. And even though we came from good childhood or, very, very healed, right? At the end of the day, we're unintentional heartbreakers. So you've got some heartbreakers that have a lot of toxic trauma and pain, and they're just running through people because they're trying to avoid being hurt, right? They'd much rather be on the heartbreaker side. But here's the thing. I would much rather you date from a place of power, a place of self-awareness, a place of spiritual alignment. How about if we make it a trend to start incorporating God and spirit into dating, right? Why do we incorporate God into so many other areas of our lives and spiritual alignment? And we're seeking, peace of mind and peace and contentment. But why don't we apply that to dating as well, right? Do you understand how much you would protect yourself from a lot of pain and disappointment if you would just slow down and sync up with God, right? I was just working on my dream manifestation book this morning, and in one of the steps of manifestation, it says to ask for what you want, right? Ask. How many of you actually ask God to help you? How many of you actually ask God, creator, universe, whatever you call God, whatever God is to you? How many of you actually stop and invite God into the process? Or how quickly do you just rush when you meet someone that you want to be the one? You really want them to be what you want them to be. So you just kind of like bypass the whole vetting process, the whole slowing down, making sure, and just jump in because you want them so bad to be what you want them to be. And then it backfires, right? Because you didn't vet. You led with your own heart. You led with your own desires, right? Exclusive Eve says, yes, because I've been picking wrong. And guys, it's really about healing. It's about doing your work, your own inner healing work, which we have the WORK Masterclass. You guys know that. There's a link in the bio. And then there's confidence and self-esteem. And then there's spiritual alignment. These are all in the formula. It's in the formula. I mean, some of you, I'll say this also. Some of the heartbreakees jump in bed too fast with people. I'll just keep it real. We grown on here. I already know most of y'all are not virgins and most of you guys are not abstinent. So guess what? Or if you are abstinent, you're just in between love interests or somebody you really like. You call it abstinence, but you're just in between. Just don't have nobody you like that. I've said that in other videos, right? So guess what, heartbreakees? Guess how also you end up getting too involved too quickly? Physical intimacy, physical intercourse, sex, right? You get in too involved. Your emotions are now swirling around with lust and physical attachment. You jump into bed with people because you really like them, really attracted to them. It's got to be the one, right? Jump in bed. Now you're all entangled, these entanglements, right? Beja Lisa says, it takes a lot to admit that we've been the one to blame all along, just picking wrong and not addressing the internal issues. I mean, think about it, guys. Think about how much heartbreak you've gotten yourself into just jumping into bed or physical intimacy with people that you had no business getting entangled with. And now you have to disentangle yourself and your emotions and your spirit from this person that is no good for you. And it's because you jumped in head first, moving way too fast, not protecting your heart, not vetting and qualifying this person. And then before you know it, like 60, 90 days, you already have been sleeping with them. You're all emotionally entangled. You thinking this is going somewhere, and you start discovering things or paying attention, I should say, to all of the signs that are saying this is not who they are. And now you're heartbroken. And now you don't want to give up because you've already emotionally committed and mentally committed, because you're trying to tell yourself this was going somewhere, which is what qualified it to be okay to get in bed with them, because you thought this was going to be going somewhere long term. This is all the mental acrobatics that people do, right? Trying to be a good person in your head. And then you discover these things about them, and then you want to ignore all this stuff. And because, now you feel like that's a representation of your choices. And so you're trying to make it something in your head that it's not. You're trying to make it's not that bad. You're trying to make it so then you're in denial, right? You're in denial of what you're seeing. You're in denial of who you are, who they are. You're in denial of how bad this is. You're in denial. Yeah, Side 45 says 60 to 90 days. Shoot, people jumping into bed on day 2, day 1, day 3, day 7, day 15. Right? And so you're literally in a situation where, you've gotten yourself in these entanglements over and over and over again. And that's my question for you today. What needs to change in this cycle? How do you practically disentangle? Detox. You got to get them out of your system. That means blocking and no calls. No engagement, no physical contact. There's research that shows, ladies, that for the person that you're sexually active with, that you imprint on them that there is a physical and chemical reaction from just hearing their voice. If you have had consistent sex with someone and attached to someone physically, there's a cascade of chemicals and hormones in your body that literally all it takes is hearing that person's voice for there to be a chemical reaction in your body. And that only happens in women, not men. So it's part of our biology, our physiology to attach to someone. When you have consistent sex with someone, that's why when you're having sex with someone and you're into them, they get cuter and cuter to you. They get more and more attractive to you because your actual body chemistry is working against you. It wants you to be attached because why? Then you're going to make babies. And that's when you keep the human race alive and keep it going by propagating, by making babies. Right? And it sucks. Which is why I don't recommend women run around sleeping with people and getting themselves entangled with men before they know who they are or where it's going. Yeah, and it's not, the Sunshine Smile says spiritual, but that's biological. That's physiological. It's more, so there's more to soul ties. You can call it a soul tie, but no, there is a physical connection, a physical tie. It's not just your imagination. You can just hear that person's voice and your body's like, I want to see him. I want to go over. I'm going to hang out. Let's Netflix and chill. Right? Because your body has a physical attachment to that person. Ladies, your body is trying to get pregnant. You're talking about thousands of years of biological, physiological pressure that your body's saying, make a baby, keep the human race alive. Right? It's crazy. I have a degree in biology. I was pre-med in college, guys. I study a lot of research. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, guys, you're going to have to remember that it's up to you. It's up to you to protect your heart, to protect your body. It's up to you to not keep being the heartbreakee. It's up to you. And you've got to put those measures in place. And when, like I say, to disentangle, yes, I love Bob Marley. And if men don't feel that attachment, it's so much easier for them to just leave. Correct. That's why all of my one-on-one clients, my VIP clients, don't you dare sleep with a man before he's emotionally attached to you. Don't you dare sleep with somebody before the man is emotionally attached to you. Because you sleep with someone prematurely, and now you're physically and emotionally attached, and he's physically attached, which is nothing to men. That's just neither here nor there. All right, guys, I just came on for this real quick. I was taking a writing break. I'm going to go back to writing. But I love you guys. It was just like this random thought that came across my mind when I was taking a break about Heartbreaker or Heartbreakee. Which are you? And like I said, I'd rather you be a heartbreaker than a heartbreakee. Because there's only so much pain you can take. There's only so much breaking you can take. And it starts to have an effect on your soul, your mental health, right? Like I say, if you know you need to do your work, make sure you click on the WORK Masterclass. Make sure you click on that. Get busy doing your work. It's still available right this second. It's going away for a limited time, so make sure you grab that. All right, I love you guys. Blessings in abundance. I will see you tomorrow night for the Rebecca Lynn Pope Show. We have 2 more guests coming on for their coaching sessions, so that'll be tomorrow night, 7 p.m. right here on Instagram. I love you. Blessings in abundance. Oh, and the dating masterclass is available. Make sure you click the link also in my bio if you're wanting to take the dating masterclass so you can learn how to date, right? How to date. All right, love you. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.